Hey everybody, it's Craig with Smartphone ME. Today we're going to have a face-off between Samsung's Galaxy S and Motorola's Droid X. We're going to kick this off talking about specifications on both of these phones. Before I get to it, I want to let you know the displays are turned up as bright as they will go, and they're both hooked up to the same Wi-Fi network. Alright, the Galaxy S, a quad-band GSM phone, tri-band 3G, weighs 119 grams. Build quality is very nice, high-grade plastic on the back and sides. Nice smoke metal gray rim around the entire perimeter of the front of the phone. Got a little metal accent here around the camera on the back. Phone feels very solid, feels very good in your hand. The Droid X weighs in at 153 grams. It's dual band CDMA, EVDO Rev A 3G. Build quality is very good. You've got high grade plastic along the front and sides. You've got a metal back. You've got a nice soft rubberized texture coating around the entire phone. Phone feels very good in your hand. Build quality is very, very solid. Taking a look around the Galaxy S, on the bottom is the microphone. Left-hand side is the volume rocker up and down. On top is your micro USB port with its little cover. Next to that's the 3.5mm headphone jack. And on the right-hand side is the power and lock key. On the Droid X, on the left-hand side is your HDMI port along with your micro USB port. On top's 3.5mm headphone jack along with the power and lock key. Right hand side is your volume rocker up and down as well as a dedicated camera key. On the back of the Galaxy S you've got a 5-megapixel camera with autofocus, geotagging, touch focus, face and smile detection. Also shoots video at 720p at 30 frames per second. On the back of the Droid X you've got an 8-megapixel camera with autofocus, dual LED flash, geotagging, image stabilization, as well as face detection. Video capture again at 720p at 30 frames per second. The flash acts as a video light and it will shoot in slow motion. Underneath the battery cover on the Galaxy S you've got a 1500 milliamp battery as well as your micro SD card slot. The battery does not need to be removed to replace or exchange micro SD cards. Underneath the battery cover on the Droid X, you have a 1540 milliamp battery along with the micro SD card slot. The battery does need to be removed to exchange or replace micro SD cards. Alright, on the front of these phones, Samsung Galaxy S has a 4-inch Super AMOLED capacitive touch display showing 480 by 800 pixels, offers multi-touch and accelerometer sensor as well as a proximity sensor. The Droid X has a 4.3-inch capacitive LCD display showing 480 by 854 pixels. It also offers multi-touch accelerometer sensor and proximity sensor. At the bottom of the screen on the Galaxy S you have 3 touch-sensitive keys, a back key, a home key, and a main menu key. On the Droid X you have 4 physical keys, a search key, a back key, a home key, and a main menu key. The memory on the Galaxy S comes in 2 versions, 8GB and 16GB, and they come with 512 megabytes of RAM, 2 gigabytes of ROM. 2 gigabytes of ROM. You can expand memory an additional 32 gigabytes through micro SD cards. On the Droid X, 8 gigabytes of internal storage, 512 megabytes of RAM, and memory can be expanded an additional 32 gigabytes through micro SD cards. Both of the phones can be used for data tethering, the Droid X up to 5 devices at the same time. Both of the phones offer Wi-Fi, BGN. As far as Bluetooth, the Galaxy S offers version 3.0 with support for A2DP. The Droid X comes with version 2.1 with support for A2DP. Both of the phones offer GPS with support for AGPS. The Galaxy S runs on the ARM Cortex A8 1 GHz processor. The Droid X operates on Texas Instruments OMAP 36030 1 GHz processor, also has a separate graphics chip. Both of the phones run on Android 2.1 Eclair. The Galaxy S has Samsung's TouchWiz 3.0 user interface overlay, and the Droid X has Motorola's Moto Blur overlay.